Zeophates, oxygen not included, tutorials, tips, and tricks. So, today what we're going to work on is we're going to work on storage. Why? Because, well, we have a lot of water down here, we've got a lot of water over here, and really, well, it's getting in the way. We've got a lot of dupes that are turning around and they're trying their damnedest to work with everything to get this stuff working, and it's being a pain. So, how are we going to deal with this? Well, first off, generally helps if the dupes can get to where I want them to work. So I'm going to look through quickly. I don't need to worry about that just yet. But I'm going to quickly look through and I'm going to make sure that all my water channels are going to get connected. Well, now I need a place to store this water. So let's actually start building that now. So for this, what researchers are we going to need? Well, the very first research we're going to need is we're going to need to come through, and you're going to need pressure management, because you need that door right there. And you're going to need liquid vent. Yeah, that's it. So you need plumbing, and you need manual airlock. Those are the two things you need. So in order to get this system up and running, first thing you need is you need to start placing doors in a specific pattern. Something like this. Actually, we'll shift this slightly. So I'm going to need that there, that there. I'm going to need to deconstruct that one, and that one. And since those guys are busy, I'm just going to do this using the sandbox mode. I would usually do this completely and utterly manually, but, well, yeah. So, one of the first things you need in here is you have to have at least one gas in here. No ifs, ands, or buts. Once you have everything in this chamber built, you're going to want to lock all of these doors, because if a dupe comes wandering in there, problems are going to ensue. So what do we need in here? Most important thing, like I said, is we need a gas. Simple, straight outright, full stop. We have to have a gas in there. The reason for that is because gases and liquids cannot occupy the same tile. So having a gas in here means that vent will never get overpressured. We are also going to need a liquid pump. After all, we need some way of getting the liquid out. And you're going to need to make sure you've got your pipes run to get said liquid out. Who got trapped? Oh yeah, that would... No, two guys got trapped. Yeah, dupes are stupid. They will try to kill themselves. And everyone else. So, we've got these doors locked. We've got our pump in there. This is now going to need power. Once again, you can upgrade these to vastly different power grid as you go along. But overall, this sort of system works quite nicely. So, I'm betting you guys can already think about how I'm going to turn around and get liquids in here. One thing when you're pumping liquids out is keep in mind, bridges like this is going to store liquids. So whenever you can, come through here and just eliminate any high ridges that might store a bunch of stuff. And then you can come along here and just mop up the leftovers. Now, one of the things is we need liquid for our research. So how are we going to deal with that? Well, the way I'm going to deal with it is this. I'm going to have 2 tiles there. I'm going to have our pitcher pump initially. And I'm going to have a liquid vent. And this line coming from this pump up to here is going to come along to here. And I'm going to chuck our liquid bridge here. The reason why I'm doing this is because that way I'm not going to blow extra energy trying to run this pump to keep that filled. So now that we've got this area done, I'm just going to delete that and make it easy and quick and easy. We're going to hook our liquid pump up. And we're going to make sure she gets some power. Might as well use the same grid over here. Only one of these pumps is really going to be operating for any length of time. So what's going to happen? Well, first things first is our liquid's going to come up here. It's going to flood in here, which is then going to keep our pitcher pump up and running. So anything that's going to need water, it's good to go. Once enough waters come up in here, which I'm just going to set to straight up water. I'm going to manually fill this. There's a lot of liquids in this game. That's going to overflow. It's going to block up our pipe. And then our bypass is going to come through. And this here is just going to keep getting filled. This is an infinite storage tank. You can do the same thing with the liquid tanks that we had up in the chlorine kill room. One of these things, but they only hold so much liquid. So if you have a large amount of liquid like in here, it's not the best route to go. So now you got your liquid stored. You've got, well, this is requiring more dupe resource, more dupe action. I mean, let's see, yes, you got the research station there. So come and get your bottle filler. And we'll just chuck this right here. So I'm going to disable that entirely. And I'm going to turn around and I'm going to pipe directly into that bottle filler. So what's going to happen is this bottle filler is going to fill up with water. It's going to create a bottle of water, and that bottle of water is just going to sit there until something needs to be filled. Then dupe's going to come grab that, shove it in there, or wherever it needs to go. And you no longer need this system at all. I honestly keep forgetting about this thing, legitimately. And because this system works so well, and a lot of the stuff that I'm doing, it's literally just like research and maybe some cooking and crafting. So it's not a frequent use, but it is a use. So it's going to be time is going to be what you're evaluating on. Whether or not the amount of time and energy it takes for the dupe to do that versus grabbing the bottle, whether that's worth it to you. But right now, we got our water as long as we actually have power in the system, which this will drain semi-decently rapidly because it's chewing through over half the power that's generating while it's being generated. So the amount of power you've got is going to be going up slowly, but it still works. So now we got liquid storage. That's going to start clearing out everything down here, which is going to be useful for us to give us more room to work with. It's going to store our water in one convenient location where we can then charge whatever systems we need to charge. So that is water storage and how to get it out of that storage into a usable state. I shouldn't have to say it, but you can also just plumb it to whatever else you need it to plumb to.